I've watched Spurs now the last 2 games against Manchester City and against Chelsea, and I think they've had a pretty good week, very good week. The thing for me about Jose Mourinho when he was at Manchester United, something just didn't feel right. The fit with the club, maybe. I expect Jose's teams to be. You know, he used to refer to them as Mourinho masterclasses. It used to be that he was wiser, he was smarter, he was cuter than the opposition managers. And then there was an element of in the last few years whereby I think there's been a bit of disrespect, whereby his style of play has been criticised to a point whereby he's outdated. The game's passed him by. We've seen these managers like Pochettino and Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp come into the league, and they've been absolutely fantastic. And this was a performance at Manchester United where I thought that Manchester United fans can't watch. I can't watch Manchester United play this way. We marketed this game as Red Monday and it turned into Dead Monday, if you remember. It was a Manchester United versus Liverpool game a few years ago. And at the time, Jose Mourinho went with it was effectively a back 6. I'll just watch it there. There you go. And this wasn't just one clip. You know, this was all night. That, if I get it right, Marcus Rashford, right wing, playing as a right back, the back 4 in very narrow, and then you had Ashley Young on the left, watching Liverpool's full-backs going forward, leaving Zlatan up front on his own up here, and then there was the 3 in midfield of Herrera, Fellaini and Pogba. And it was a little bit desperate to watch, and you're thinking, Manchester United have got to have more than that. I know Liverpool were on top in terms of Liverpool were a better team, Manchester United in a dip, Jose's got to go and get a point to get I get all that, but they've got to be better than that. And it didn't feel very innovative, it didn't feel very modern. And that night, it was desperate. Zlatan was up front on his own. I'll just clear that and play it on. And the problem you've got is that you cannot get the counter-attack going because the 2 players that you expect to counter-attack are your wide players. They're too far away from the game. Zlatan becomes isolated and it just becomes a long old night where Liverpool can dominate the game, sustain attacks, dominate possession. And Jose played a non-dominant style of football that really then didn't have the counter-attacking threat. And when Paul Pogba breaks clear here, he's just surrounded, he's outnumbered, and this was really a theme of the night. We then go to the game, we now go to his Tottenham team. This was something against City that I noticed a couple of weeks ago. And he still wants that defensive stability, he still wants that clean sheet, and I think there is also an element of, I don't think he wholly trusts his back 4 at Tottenham. But you look at this Spurs team now, and that's Højbjerg, a central midfield player. That's the full-back. Centre-back. Sissoko dropping in the last couple of weeks into that type of position. And you've still got the back 6, as it were, in deep positions, but there's a big difference. One, the point of the counter-attack, Harry Kane, he's dropping in a little bit deeper into a place which is difficult to pick up. But the most important thing, that Bergwijn and Son are near to him. So rather than the 2 central midfield players being there, where Herrera and Pogba were, you've got the 2 players near to Ndombele and Kane. So you've got the right players still in advanced positions to be able to counter-attack quickly. And we've seen a feature in this game. I'm not going to go and show it too much because we know what happened. They were brilliant on the counter-attacking parts of the game. And there you go. There's your back 6. So there's your back 6. But they're the key. Højbjerg and Sissoko, not bringing Bergwijn back to here and Son back to there, and then they're too far away from the game. And it's a subtle change. Jose's still getting the same system, but he's doing it in a different way, which I think is far more palatable. It's easier on the eye because you've still got the attacking players in attacking positions. And he's changed and he's adapted. And this was against Chelsea. Didn't get the counter-attack going as much as I think he would have liked. But again, the same principles applying of getting that back 6 in place. I'll just wait for it to develop so we get there. This time, there's Aurier, there's Sissoko in that position. There's your 2 centre-backs. Højbjerg making his way back in. And then the left full-back. And you've got Son, Bergwijn, and then you've got the point of the counter-attack, Harry Kane, with Ndombele being the one that's a little bit more free. And you see it develop, and the key to it is Harry Kane. As soon as they get the ball into Kane, they're off. And this is the key to it. That with him serving them, that's why he's getting the assists. That's why the 2 wide players are getting the benefit with the goals. It's a slight adaptation of where he was a few years ago. But as I said before, it feels easier on the eye. It feels more acceptable. You've got the balance there of good defensively, but also still got the threat on the attack. And I think fans players, we can all, I think, live with that a lot more than just seeing our two wingers back in what would be full-back positions, so far away from Zlatan in that game at Anfield, for United.
The question I asked after the game